Okay, I spend most days stressed out almost to tears. But I can't be because, I'm a man and whatnot. And, I'd be at work and stuff, listening to podcasts about what's going on in the world. And I know a lot of you probably see my Gaza post. And as a black man, you're like, why are you so concerned about what happens in Gaza? I mean, that's their issue, whatever. And, like, the crazy thing about it is a lot of people with these ideas, like, why am I concerned about what's going on over there? Be Christians. And it's like, as a Christian, somebody who tends to look down on atheists like me, as if we lack morals and ethics and whatnot, how does it matter where something's happening as to whether or not it's important? How does it matter how far away from me kids are being shot in the head by snipers twice, once in the head, once in the chest? How is the fact that that's happening across the world in Palestine, how is that supposed to not affect me? Better question is, how does it not affect you? I mean, one thing I've noticed is that a lot of religious people tend to get religious when it gives them a vantage point to look down on other people from. Because I mean, we all know and don't mind how dirty my nails are. I do construction, and I haven't washed my hands since I got off, but I just felt the need to say this. I mean, man, Jesus was a Palestinian, but yet Christians don't care about what's happening to the Palestinians. But if Jesus came back, what's happening over there in Gaza is happening to the guy that you claim to live your life for. And I don't understand how you reconcile that, or even do you even think about it, do you even care? Because again, most people go around their lives sinning on a regular basis. It's an ongoing joke. People sin on Saturday and come to church on Sunday, sometimes in the same clothes. I just don't understand. Well, actually, I do understand, because most of y'all full of ish. And I don't understand how you have the nerve to look down on other people and like feel good about yourself. I mean, right now, North Gaza has been sectioned off, and they're exterminating everybody. I mean, this has always been extermination from the very beginning. I mean, how long did it take me to figure out who's on the good and bad sides of this conflict, this war on Gaza? I can't say war with Gaza. It's a war on Gaza. Gaza is a place that does not have a standing army. And to sit there and be bamboozled and think, oh, well, it's Hamas, it's Hamas, it's Hamas, it's Hamas. Listen, all they do is bring up a new boogeyman every few years. I mean, if you remember back in 2001 when the towers got bombed, got attacked, hit with planes on my birthday, back then it was what? It was Al-Qaeda. Right? There's Al-Qaeda, then there's ISIS, and it throws in Hezbollah. These words that sound scary because they're brown, because they're Muslim sounding, they're Arabic sounding, and you automatically think that they're scary, they deserve to be exterminated. But I mean, okay, do you feel threatened when you hear words like algebra, algorithm? Well, I'm not sure about algorithm, but algebra definitely came from Arab people. I mean, for a long time, the Arab world was the shining light for science, innovation, technology in the world. You know what I mean? And it's insane that you've let people tell you that all these people are just bad because of where they're from and the language they speak. And especially black people, y'all should really, really be ashamed of yourselves, because we, above all other people, almost all of the people, we should understand what it's like to be demonized and portrayed in a way that is not consistent with reality. I mean, we used to have those pictures of, super dark, super black, big red lips snacking on watermelons, and that was a portrayal of us. And I mean, we should know, there's a common misconception, that black men aren't present fathers. When actually, the reports actually show that black men are the most involved with their children out of all ethnicities. But the viewpoint that's pushed in the media and in our culture is that black men are absentees. They never mention about how often police brutality would take away a father from the family so he can never come home. They never mention people like Philando Castile. His child is fatherless because the police murdered him, because he tried to be lawful and he told the police, yeah, I have a gun in the car, it's registered. And then the cops said, don't reach for it, and they shot him. Look it up. Philando Castile. The whole footage is out there from multiple angles. They murdered that man while he had a seatbelt on with his girlfriend next to him and his daughter in the back seat. Murdered that man. Go ahead and tell me how you feel about that. Tamir Rice, a little, 12 years old? 12-year-old boy. A woman, he was playing in the park by himself with a toy gun. Granted, done from a distance, sure, but I also am pretty sure that there's plenty of times where armed people, usually white, are brought in, no shots fired, brought in alive. Dylan Roof went and murdered 9 black people at a church. He was brought in alive. They didn't shoot him. They actually stopped to get him food. but little Tamir Rice in a park with nobody else around. Look it up. You can find the video. They say they rolled up on him, hopped up the. He shot that boy up before his other foot even touched the ground, and didn't take any defensive cover, any defensive maneuvers, as you would if you're actually dealing with a real threat. They put her right next to him, hopped to the car, and shot that boy. And the thing about that, I was gonna almost say the funny thing, but it's not the funny about it, is the woman that called in the 911 call said it may be a toy. You can easily find the recording of that call. It said it might be a toy. Didn't matter. They just rolled up and murdered that little boy. Why? Because he's a little black boy. He's probably up to something. He probably really was. Trayvon Martin got followed and attacked and murdered by somebody from the Neighborhood Watch, a racist. I'm not even going to say his name, but I mean, my people in Florida, I don't know how you guys still have that man walking around scot-free. I'm going to be real about it. I don't know how you guys, so many of y'all were just going to be gangster, but that man is still walking around. No repercussions. But yeah, y'all gangster. Right? I want to switch right clear because I don't even have any exact direction where I'm going in this little rant, but I mean, Macklemore put out a song called Hind's Hall. You know where Hind's Hall came from? I've touched on this before in another one of my videos, but I wouldn't set this to 10 minutes, so I'm just going to talk. You know, my daughter's in tutoring right now. I got some time. I usually would go to the gym at this time, but no, I figured I'll talk to y'all because I'm past due for a lot of things. So Macklemore put out a song called Hind's Hall. Hind's Hall was what they wrote on was some of the protesters that broke into one of the universities, I forget which one, and they took over one of the halls and they put up a banner that said Hind's Hall. Who was Hind? Hind Rajab was a 6-year-old little Palestinian girl who, in the attempts to evacuate to evacuate Gaza, had her entire family shot up in the car that they were in. She stayed among the bodies of her family, her dead family members in that car for, I think, 2-3 hours. And during that time, that little 6-year-old girl had the sense to call the Palestinian Red Crescent, who's basically the equivalent of 911 or Red Cross. You can look this up. You can look at the recording. I mean, I maybe recommend checking the Young Turks recording of this because, I don't know, there's multiple, just thinking about it kind of makes me emotional right now. I have a child. I don't understand how anybody that has a child cannot hear that and understand what's going on. So again, while amongst the bodies of her dead family members, she called for help. Help was arranged to come and get her, to come and rescue her. Okay, like the Palestinian Red Crescent, they organized with the IDF, released safe passage to get to her. And well, you know what happened? They bombed the ambulance. They bombed the ambulance on the way to go pick her up. 2 or 3 paramedics in it, of course, were killed. You can see footage of the ambulance that was on the way to get her. At the end of that call with Hind, again, because you can hear her the entire call, she's saying that they're getting close. She's saying that the troops are approaching the car, getting closer to her. They're getting closer to her. And the phone call ends with what? Gunshots. Weeks later, when people were finally able to go into the area, when the the military had left the area, they found the car. They found the remains of Hind Rajab, the 6-year-old girl, riddled with, I think it was 355 bullet holes. She was the only living person in that car at the time because the rest of her family had already been killed hours ago. 355 times with tank artillery fire, not even assault rifles. Go look at what happened to Sidra Hassouni while we were all watching the Super Bowl. Sidra, S-I-D-R-A Hassouni. She was found hanging from a wall with her legs blown off just above the knee. It was just shredded skin, most likely because a missile went off so close to her that it either, I'm not even sure how she got on the wall, if it was the impact from the missile, the bomb that flung her into the air and on it, or if the people actually took and hung her on the wall. Given the depravity of these people, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I mean, over a month ago, we have footage that's come out of of Israelis raping, of Israeli men gang raping a Palestinian man in an illegal detention center we have the Israelis rioted for the right to rape. But yet, one of the biggest justifications for what's going on over there is that, oh, Hamas has been raping people. It's completely debunked. But yet, that hasn't stopped Kamala Harris from going on stage and saying 1,400 people were killed, 1,129 people were killed, 695 of them being civilians. If I know that, there's no way she doesn't know that. And the worst part about this is the best we can do is vote for the lesser of two evils for real, because Trump will be even worse.